50 Cent just leaked exclusive footage from his documentary after several rappers panicked over the announcement of his upcoming project and sued him. And during his court hearing, which was just leaked, he shared never-before-seen footage showing rappers doing obscene things, clips that could literally destroy their careers and completely change the course of his trial. In this video, we're going to break it all down and show you exactly what's happening. In December 2025, interest in the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs surged with the release of a new Netflix documentary produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and it arrived at a time when Diddy was already in the middle of one of the most public legal downfalls in hip-hop history. The series includes interviews with jurors from Diddy's federal trial, part of a sweeping case that began in September 2024, when Combs was arrested and charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, this is the part of the story that grabs you by the collar. The docuseries includes never-before-seen footage filmed in the 6 days before Diddy's arrest, as well as handwritten journal entries from Bad Boy co-founder Kirk Burrows, documenting years of managing Diddy's personal and financial affairs. This is footage that was filmed with Diddy's knowledge, footage that depicts a raw Combs ensconced in his hotel room and surrounded by trusted friends and associates during what would be one of the most critical moments in his life. At the time, Combs was under federal investigation and dealing with raids on his homes, lawsuits, and headlines, all from his hotel room. The documentary did not come out of nowhere. 50 Cent had been building toward this for over a year. He confirmed he sold his multi-part documentary to Netflix. In an Instagram post he made on Tuesday, May 24, 2024, numerous networks and streaming platforms were involved in a major bidding war over the doc. But Netflix came out on top when the deal was announced. A rep for 50 Cent and G-Unit Film and Television confirmed the program was in production and all profits would go towards victims of sexual abuse and rape. But the footage itself, specifically the behind-the-scenes footage of Diddy strategizing with his legal team, is what made this documentary unlike anything else. In the process of filming his own potential documentary, Combs instructs his criminal defense attorney Mark Agnifilo to forget about only appearing on CNN to pump out his narrative, but to find somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirtiest, dirty business of media and propaganda to target potential jurors on Instagram and TikTok. That's Diddy on camera, 6 days before the feds came for him. And there was more. Combs hugs and smiles with fans at a local Harlem bar. But once back in his SUV, Combs laughs about needing hand sanitizer and wanting to take a hot bath because he's been out in the streets amongst the people. The footage showed a side of Diddy that nobody had seen before. Strategic, calculated, panicking, and performing for the cameras all at the same time. 50 Cent, as executive producer, commented on the footage directly. "I don't think you can get closer," he told Netflix's Tudum about what the footage reveals. He was documenting himself on his way to jail. The director of the docuseries, Alexandria Stapleton, explained how the project came together. Stapleton said Cassie Ventura's 2023 lawsuit was a cultural turning point that compelled her to examine whether society is finally capable of processing allegations against powerful figures fairly. "When Cassie dropped her lawsuit, I knew this was a stress test of whether we've changed as a culture," Stapleton said. As for 50 himself, "I've been committed to real storytelling for years. Through G-Unit Film and Television," he said, "I'm grateful to everyone who came forward and trusted us with their stories, and proud to have Alexandria Stapleton as the director on the project to bring this important story to the screen." The result? The docuseries pulled 21.8 million views in its first 6 days, according to Netflix, and it eventually surpassed 51 million views, making it one of the most watched documentaries in the platform's history. But success on that scale does not come without consequences. The documentary triggered legal threats, lawsuits, and a chain of events that would pull 50 Cent deeper into the courtroom than the editing room. Before the documentary even premiered, Diddy's team was already firing shots. On the eve of Netflix releasing the highly anticipated docuseries, produced by his longtime foe Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, the embattled mogul's lawyers sent a cease and desist letter to the streaming giant, demanding it not release Sean Combs' The Reckoning. In a statement provided to CNN, a spokesperson for Combs also accused Netflix of using stolen footage that was never authorized for release, in what they called a shameful hit piece. Diddy's spokesperson Judah Engelmeyer went on the record to explain the origin of the footage. Engelmeyer explained that the footage seen in Netflix's trailer, which was filmed 6 days before Combs' September 2024 arrest, was part of that documentary effort. Sean was making his own documentary since he was 19 years old. This footage was commissioned as part of it, Engelmeyer told CNN. The claim was clear from Diddy's side. The footage was his, made for his own project, and it was taken without his permission. We have confirmed that Netflix used footage that was never authorized for release, including private moments, pre-indictment material from an unfinished project, and conversations involving legal strategy that were not intended for public viewing, a representative for Diddy said on air. Diddy's team also took direct aim at 50 Cent's personal motivations. 50 Cent is a longtime public adversary who has mocked Mr. Combs for decades, posted fabricated accusations, and publicly celebrated his legal challenges. The statement read, "The argument was that the footage could never be used fairly because 50 Cent had a vendetta." Combs' legal team escalated further. Combs was seemingly caught off guard that Netflix had obtained the footage, with his team sending a cease and desist letter to Netflix before the documentary aired, calling the project a hit piece and accusing the streamer of violating copyright laws. If they aired the footage, attorneys for Combs vowed he has not hesitated to take legal action against media entities and others who violate his rights, and he will not hesitate to do so against Netflix. This was not the first time Combs had gone the legal route over a documentary. Earlier that year, Combs sued NBC Universal for $100 million over its documentary Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. The case is ongoing. But Netflix and the creative team behind The Reckoning were not backing down. The footage of Combs leading up to his indictment and arrest were legally obtained. This is not a hit piece or an act of retribution. Curtis Jackson is an executive producer but does not have creative control. No one was paid to participate. The streamer also put out a statement from director Alexandria Stapleton. Stapleton herself addressed the question directly. "It came to us. We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights. We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential." One thing about Sean Combs is that he's always filming himself, and it's been an obsession throughout the decades. We also reached out to Sean Combs' legal team for an interview and comment multiple times, but did not hear back. Diddy's team also suggested that the documentary was corporate retaliation, claiming that Netflix had been slammed by accusations that Reckoning was corporate retaliation from Ted Sarandos after being allegedly rebuffed a couple of years ago by Combs himself over a doc the streamer supposedly wanted to make. Netflix denied this entirely. The claims being made about Sean Combs, The Reckoning, are false, a spokesperson for the streamer said. The project has no ties to any past conversations between Sean Combs and Netflix. Despite all the threats since the documentary aired, Combs has taken no legal action against Netflix. He threatened, he sent the cease and desist, he called it a hit piece, but no lawsuit materialized against the streaming platform. The documentary stayed up, the views kept climbing, and the next chapter of legal drama would come from an entirely different direction. While Diddy's team made noise but filed nothing, someone else stepped up and actually filed suit. A former sex worker allegedly victimized by Sean Diddy Combs is suing Netflix and 50 Cent over his portrayal in the docuseries Sean Combs, The Reckoning, claiming the film distorted his story with selective editing. Clayton Howard, a sex worker allegedly hired by Combs for freak-off sex parties with Cassie Ventura, offers some of the most disturbing accounts in the Netflix series. Howard's lawsuit, first reported by Billboard, makes a specific claim. In the lawsuit, Howard says the show made a calculated misrepresentation of his story, namely, by painting Ventura as a fellow victim when Howard says she was really an accomplice to Diddy's alleged abuse. The legal filing lays it out in detail. In technical terms, his lawsuit alleges fraudulent inducement, defamation, and various other forms of legal wrongdoing. He's seeking at least $20 million in damages, as well as a court order requiring Netflix to edit the series, with a notice that accounts are edited and may not reflect complete testimony. Howard's central allegation is that 50 Cent and Netflix promised one thing and delivered another. In the lawsuit, Howard claims they fraudulently induced him to participate in the documentary by promising that a complete and truthful account would be told, then violated that agreement with the final cut. This calculated misrepresentation was done in furtherance of defendant Curtis Jackson's personal and business vendetta against Sean Combs, and to create a commercially profitable narrative that silenced a documented trafficking victim. To protect a documented trafficker, Howard writes. That last line hits different. Howard is saying that 50 Cent's personal issues with Diddy influenced the edit, that the story was shaped not to tell the truth, but to serve a narrative that worked in 50's favor commercially. According to Howard's lawsuit, his testimony included allegations that Ventura acted as a Combs accomplice and a trafficker, but the docuseries instead portrayed her as a victim to create a simplified narrative. Initially filed in state court, the lawsuit was transferred to the federal district court for the Southern District of New York. This is a real legal proceeding in a real federal court, not just social media posturing. The lawsuit claims that portions of his testimony were omitted or altered, including statements regarding alleged sex trafficking, and argues that the final version of the documentary presented an inaccurate narrative. It further alleges that the portrayal was shaped in part by 50 Cent's ongoing personal dispute with Diddy. This lawsuit came on the heels of the documentary's massive viewership numbers. The documentary, produced by 50 Cent and released in December, earned more than 51 million views. With numbers like that, the legal exposure for both Netflix and 50 Cent becomes significant. A $20 million claim in federal court is not something that gets brushed aside with a meme. And here's the thing that makes this story so layered: Howard is not defending Diddy. He is suing the people who made the documentary about Diddy. He's saying his own trauma was edited and reshaped to fit a version of the story that made money but did not serve his truth. That is a different kind of legal challenge than anything Diddy's team was threatening. Howard is seeking damages and wants Netflix to add a notice, stating accounts are edited and may not reflect complete testimony. Neither Netflix nor Jackson has publicly responded. Now, the entire documentary hinges on how 50 Cent and Netflix got their hands on footage that Diddy filmed for his own personal project. And that mystery was eventually explained, at least partially. Michael Oberle squashed online rumors of there being a fee dispute or contract issue, instead claiming 50 Cent and the director of Sean Combs' The Reckoning seemingly wound up with the footage because he hired a freelancer to briefly fill in for him. For over 2 years, we have been working on a project profiling Sean Diddy Combs, Oberle said in a statement provided to Rolling Stone. The explanation was straightforward. The footage in question was not released by me or anyone authorized to handle Sean Combs' materials. It was by a third party who covered for me for 3 days while I was out of state. This incident had nothing to do with any fee dispute or contract issue. In other words, Diddy's personal videographer left town for a few days and hired a freelancer to fill in. That freelancer then allegedly passed the footage to 50 Cent's team. Oberle described the actions of the involved parties as reflecting the lack of integrity every storyteller should uphold. Taking footage intended for our project to advance a narrative that was not our own is both unethical and unacceptable. Oberle has worked with Combs since at least 2019. A resident personal photographer for the music mogul, the 36-year-old captured Combs' star-studded 50th birthday at his Los Angeles house, documented him as he recorded 2023's The Love album, Off the Grid, and even accompanied Combs' adult sons to court in a show of support when Combs was arraigned on federal charges on September 17, 2024. So this was not some random cameraman. This was Diddy's trusted documentarian for years, and the footage slipped through his hands because of a temporary replacement. The director maintained her position. We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights to include it. We moved heaven and earth to keep the filmmaker's identity confidential. 50 Cent, for his part, was not shy about enjoying the situation. On Instagram, he posted a clip with the caption, "I don't understand why he filmed himself, but I'm glad he filmed himself." And the content itself was damaging. Some of the footage shows Diddy in private, panicking just days before his indictment. According to 50 Cent, the unseen footage includes intimate and damaging material, including claims Diddy fathered a child with Sarah Chapman, who also dated Tupac Shakur, and more uncut moments before his 2024 arrest. But here's where the story gets even bigger. After the massive success of Sean Combs' The Reckoning on Netflix, executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson revealed there's still 140 plus hours of unreleased footage that didn't make the 4-part docuseries. 140 hours. That is a staggering amount of unreleased material. During a December 10th, 2025 appearance on Sherry, The Sherry Shepherd Show, 50 teased the release of raw clips directly to YouTube, or "I'll just put it on YouTube," he said with a smirk. When asked about a possible second season, he explained that the original cut was limited by time. Everything couldn't make it. It was only 4 episodes, so you had to pick and choose things. Now he's suggesting that unfiltered material may hit the public soon. No gatekeepers, just clicks. By bypassing Netflix and going direct to viewer, 50 Cent could create a viral storm. No network notes, no censors, just receipts. That move could also complicate Diddy's ongoing legal battles, especially with new civil suits pending and his team working on appeals. This is 50 Cent sitting on 140 hours of footage and openly threatening to upload it to YouTube. And if you think that is where the story ends, you do not know 50 Cent. Part 5. The New Targets. T.I., Tiny, and What Comes Next. The success of The Reckoning did not make 50 Cent slow down. It made him speed up, and his next target appears to be T.I. and Tiny Harris. 50 Cent addressed the rumor that he's working on a documentary about T.I. and Tameka Tiny Harris's sexual assault allegations. On March 5th, 2026, the rapper-filmmaker posted a screenshot of an article that claimed he was developing a documentary tentatively titled Surviving T.I. and Tiny. The program would reportedly cover the allegations of rape and sexual misconduct. that numerous women have lodged against the prominent couple over the past few years. The caption 50 wrote was a direct warning. "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc," 50 Cent wrote. "Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're gonna ask about your 20 sexual assault cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." This was not random. The beef reignited in February 2026 when T.I. accused 50 of ducking a Versus battle during his Kill the King album promo run on Shannon Sharpe's Nightcap. 50 responded with Instagram trolling. Then T.I. dropped 4 diss tracks in 2 days. Then 50 escalated past music entirely. The back and forth pulled in the entire Harris family. The conflict quickly escalated beyond the two men, bleeding into their immediate families. 50 Cent posted an unflattering photo of Tiny with a caption telling T.I. to leave him alone. The Harris family interpreted this as a direct sign of extreme disrespect. T.I.'s sons immediately jumped into the fray to defend their mother. King Harris blasted old images of 50 Cent across social media, while Damani Harris released diss tracks aimed at the New York mogul. The allegations against T.I. and Tiny that 50 Cent is referencing are not new. T.I. and Tiny first faced allegations of sexual assault, alleged facilitation of sexual abuse, and alleged forced drug use. In January 2021, after their former friend Sabrina Peterson shared a series of accusations from multiple women on Instagram. Since then, several more women have come forward and some of them filed lawsuits. T.I. and Tiny immediately denied the allegations. In 2021, attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn held a press conference representing over 30 women alleging forced drugging, sexual assault, and trafficking, spanning 15 years across Georgia and California. The New York Times reported speaking to 5 alleged victims and reviewing corroborating messages and photos. The LA District Attorney declined to prosecute in 2021, citing statute of limitations. The legal situation is still unresolved in some areas. The only major legal battle still actively lingering is a high-stakes defamation trial between T.I. and Sabrina Peterson, which is currently scheduled for June 2026. And here is the kicker. As of March 2026, there is no verified production schedule, network deal, or actual footage to confirm that surviving T.I. and Tiny even exists. The threat alone was enough to set the internet on fire. 50 Cent understands that in the modern era of instant viral media, the sheer threat of an exposing documentary often hits significantly harder than the actual project itself. This is the playbook. It is the same playbook 50 used with Diddy. He announced the Diddy documentary over a year before Combs' arrest. He announced that project over a year before Diddy's arrest. His Instagram post explicitly references that timeline, warning T.I. that the silence before the reckoning should be instructive. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is expanding his documentary empire beyond just Diddy and T.I. He has a new project that will focus on Atlanta powerhouse lawyer Drew Findling and some of hip-hop's biggest legal battles. Drew Findling isn't just another lawyer. He's one of the most influential legal figures in entertainment, especially within hip-hop culture. Based in Atlanta, Findling has represented a long list of major artists, including Gucci Mane, Young Thug, Offset, and Playboi Carti. And 50 is still dealing with the fallout from the reckoning in real time. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson responded publicly after new claims surfaced in court proceedings tied to Combs. According to reports from the hearing, an escort service owner testified that Combs allegedly requested more than 30 male escorts. Attorneys involved in the matter also indicated that additional state criminal charges could potentially be filed. 50 is also dealing with his own legal issues. He is continuing his legal fight with ex-girlfriend Shaniqua Tompkins after filing a notice of appeal in New York's appellate court in an effort to overturn a recent ruling tied to the ownership of her life story rights. The appeal seeks to reverse a decision, and if the appellate court sides with 50 Cent, it could allow them to pursue a $1 million default judgment against Tompkins. His own abuse allegations have also resurfaced. By mid-2025, another allegation surfaced. A woman named Jahira Rodriguez sued 50 Cent, accusing him of physical assault, as well as sexual and emotional abuse. The alleged incidents took place prior to Fifth filing for Chapter 11 in 2015. When asked if the reckoning was petty, 50 Cent did not deny it. "I accept that. I'll take that. I'll wear that," he said in an interview with Gold Derby published Dector 9. He characterized the project on his own terms. He insists that the project is not a revenge campaign. Instead, he characterized the reckoning as an effort to elevate voices when others won't, adding that many people involved trusted him to bring their stories forward. And when asked about Diddy's reaction to the documentary, 50 could not resist. He believes that Combs, despite everything, would actually walk away enjoying the final result. Like, "Wow, this is amazing." I think he's gonna say, "This is the best documentary I've seen in a long time." 50 cheekily grins. Where does this story end? It does not. Combs is also facing roughly 70 civil lawsuits, where most of the dozens of accusers claim they were drugged and sexually assaulted. Combs has denied all of the civil claims. Some of the lawsuits have been dismissed. Combs is appealing his conviction and sentence. 50 Cent has 140 hours of footage he has not released. He has a lawsuit from Clayton Howard. He has Diddy's team calling him an adversary with a vendetta. He has T.I. dropping diss tracks and threatening legal action. He has his own legal battles piling up. And through all of it, he is posting on Instagram, cracking jokes, teasing new projects, and making it clear that the documentary game is just getting started. The man who once declared bankruptcy is now sitting on one of the most watched documentary franchises in Netflix history. Whether you see him as a truth teller, a troll, or something in between, one thing is undeniable. The lawsuits, the footage, and the feuds are not slowing 50 Cent down. They are fuel. And that is the story.